Merchants district or government district. It's very early in the morning, so might as well go to the merchant district. We were advised that our best chance of success with the delivery job is during nighttime, so might as well go there during nighttime. Mercenary Guild.
Well met!
Pass. What pass? You're not allowed in the Mercenary Guild without a pass. How do I get a pass? By joining the guild. And how do I join the guild? He sighs impatiently. You have to be sponsored by a member. If it was easy to be a member, I'd be inside and not here swatting flies. Try to bribe him. Persuade attempts go from no money offer to 100 gold money offers. I do have a reason to be inside here. Let's try with 10 gold, although that's nothing, but whatever. I'll give you 10 gold pieces if you let me in. No, I can't let you in without a pass, and that's final. Okay, fair enough. Although... Mercenary Guild, I think, would have one of the NPCs that might join us. However, at the same time, as long as we're doing these thievery jobs, I don't think a companion would really aid us. In fact, it might make things harder. I can maybe avoid trouble for myself, but if I have others that have to pull with me, that's not gonna happen.
What can I get you?
Helen, what do you sell? Fletcher. Anything new? No. So these are mainly shopkeepers.
Greetings.
Armor. Right. Sneezing. Right. You look like a thievery type. Weapons. And some specialty weapons. Sonic damage +3. Exotic weaponry. Not just any weaponry.
Hello?
Normal weaponry from +1 to +3. You probably want to go for +3 weaponry if you can help it. Maybe at least skip the 2. Since the game is offering standard +3 weaponry across all weapons, you probably need +3 by the time you're reaching the end of it. Acid damage. Sunburst. Bard and Cleric. Right, so, just a shop. The Adventurer's Rack. Street markets. Chappelle's Fashion Boutique. Noble.
Hello.
This man sniffs as you approach, obviously unhappy with your presence. Get away, beggar. This establishment is not for the likes of you. Want to see your store? You would look quite handsome in these outfits, I admit, but they cost more than you can afford. Here, take this gold piece and leave my store. Right. Nobles only. Warehouse. Another gate, Captain.
Well met.
Commander Venerin. Hello, sir. The south gates are closed to civilians at the moment. Please come back another time. Why are they closed? I'm sorry, but I can't really say much about that. Has something to do with the rising evil, doesn't it? Yes, I suppose it's common enough knowledge now. By now, I'm sure you've heard all about the vampire sightings in Edinburgh. There have also been rumors of zombies and werewolves about. Well, I don't think they're rumors. The werewolf activity is localized in the mistwood beyond the south gates. Every 4 or 5 years there might be a couple of werewolf sightings, maybe even an attack on a caravan. But during the past month, his voice lowers to a whisper, there's howling every night. When we look beyond the gates, we can see eyes, glowing red eyes staring back at us from deep in the woods. I've never fought a werewolf. I don't think anyone in the city guard besides Captain Thorin has, but I know they're out there, waiting for us to come out. Our guard patrols are too scared to go out too far out from the gates now. We keep them locked up at all times, just in case. There have been rumors of a caravan being attacked, but we can't investigate it. We can't spare the guards. Right. Who are you? Nothing more. Right. The south gate. Might as well take a look at the warehouse here too. I doubt if we can do much here. I doubt there's any real trouble here either. It's basically a empty warehouse at the moment. So probable point of interest later on. I suppose in a way this is a good thing. Guard post 3. I mean, we spent the last hour or so just talking to people. While that is to be expected, since I basically act out all the dialogue. It's still very time consuming. I'd like to do things. Harbor Master.
Salutations.
This old man looks strong and alert for his age. He nods as you approach. Hello, stranger. What brings you to the Seafarers Guild? What is the Seafarers Guild? We run the day-to-day operations of Edinburgh's port. Could you elaborate on that? Not a sailor, are you? We're responsible for maintaining Edinburgh's port. Every ship that sails in and out goes through us first. Most vessels that come in are merchant vessels, so we also organize delivery of the shipments. We report to Lord Worthington, who deals with trade and commerce, although Lord Raisin also has a hand in here. Edinburgh doesn't have a military fleet, of course. River Edin is too small for that. But this port is otherwise unguarded territory, so it's important to keep track of any activities here. Rumors. It's not hard, not when you are this close to the south gate. Bloody howling at night gives me the shivers. You can hear it over the walls. I've spoken with Commander Venerin and some of the guards. Even they're nervous. Some of them swear they can see glowing red eyes looking at them from the mistwood. They say it's werewolves. Can you believe that? I've seen a lot of spooky things on the waters in my life, but werewolves? He shudders. You know anything about Mistwood? It's a large forest out of the city. There's a trade route that runs through part of it, but most of it is unexplored forest. The tales say it's very dark and dangerous in there. Witches, wargs, and of course the werewolves. I hear there are druids and rangers living in the Mistwood. They're good people. They protect travelers that wander too far into the forest and escort them back to the city. Those nature folks don't often come into the city though. Right. So nothing particularly interesting. Things we already knew. Sailor, 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 sailor. So again, nothing interesting. Rather, nothing that appears interesting. Noble districts.
Hello. Hello.
We needed to use the sewer system to gain access to that. That could be potential zombie trouble for us. At the same time, we do have limited ability to sneak around, so maybe we can get around any such issues. I do not want to start a fight when I'm all alone on a low level. It just, yeah, I might be able to do it, but it would be... There's no experience points to gain there, and it might be a huge amount of trouble. So it's all about completing jobs instead of killing people. Fester's apothecary. Rory Pollum.
Greetings.
This gnome busies himself about his cauldron, adding ingredients listed on some burned and wrinkled papers in his hand. Occasionally he samples the brew, nearly gags, then continues working. He looks up as you approach. Greetings. Pardon the state of my shop, good man, but the work of an apothecary can be frightfully messy sometimes. Who are you? My name is Rory Fulham, Edinburgh's premier potion mixer. Why is this place called Fester's Apothecary? Fester's my great-granduncle, a powerful sorcerer and the first of the Fulham line to dabble with potions. He made the Fulham family famous, he did, mixing potions that were in demand even by royalty. Today I continue the Fulham family tradition by brewing potions with the highest quality ingredients and no preservatives. You'll find my potions go down easy and have no aftertaste. Okay. Show me the store. Looks like a great variety of potions. The typical ones: resist elements, protection from elements, do elements, stats boosts. Yeah. This might be something that actually is worth buying stuff even at low levels. A couple of hundred gold is not a huge amount of money. You know, to earn a haste ability, maybe bark skins or extra armor class. That's exactly what you would need. But on a sorcerer, it's sort of like hissing on a wildfire. It's too little. Haste might help. You could double your casting speed, basically. Emporium Magicana. Two people. Dinarpin.
Well met.
This creature before you is clearly not a member of one of Arterra's major races, at least not fully. He stares at you for a few uncomfortable seconds before speaking. You seem capable for your youth. Would you like to see my inventory? Who are you? My name is Dinarfin, a merchant of arcane goods, but I can see that the question you really have is, what am I? Mostly I'm Elven, descended from the wood elves of the Celestian forest. However, I also possess the blood of a red dragon. That is why I have wings. The only thing you truly need to know is that I am a merchant of arcane goods. What about the woman over there? Neferisha is a traveler of great importance, a member of a ruling family of an Alsarian state, though few in Claymore would know of her. She has taken an interest in the rising evil in Edinburgh and needed a place to stay. She came to me because I could offer her the goods and security she needs, and because I have experience with the Forest of Celestra, which she has an interest in. This is not an official visit, and thus she would prefer to avoid the Elder Council. What goods does she require? Cushions, silk blankets, mineral water, and a few more rare and expensive items. Sounds like she's used to being pampered. Those items are necessities, not creature comforts, though it is not my place to explain why. Consider it an honor if she speaks to you. Her guards allow few to approach her. Why does she need the security? In truth, the rising evil in Edinburgh poses no threat to her, and she is under no immediate danger. But people of importance always have enemies, so I have been asked to shield her from those who would magically espy her location. Okay, anything about the rising evil? Not enough to be of aid to you. There are other matters requiring my attention that prevent me from taking more interest in the rising evil. But you look capable of helping. Perhaps. But my own concerns take precedence. What exactly do you sell? You sell the good stuff. We probably should buy a robe. Just to... It's cost 1 gold. And the clothing shopkeeper gave us an extra gold piece, so... might as well put it to good use. I don't like the commoner's outfit I have. Illusionist, conjurer, wizard, sorcerer, or necromancer. Suppose it's more of a... I'll take the necromancer's robe. Sort of fits the image I have there. Right. More interest for a wizard, I would imagine. Neferisha.
Well, hello there.
Even though this woman hides her face behind a shroud, the exotic scent of her perfume, her flawless skin and perfect figure, her graceful movements, and her piercing grey eyes hint at extraordinary beauty. Her voice is smooth and sultry, and you find yourself mesmerized by her words. A fair day to you, adventurer. Tell me about yourself. I am Neferisha Rare, a traveler from Alsares. I was passing through Edinburgh on my way to Celestra, and I was delayed by the troubles in the surrounding forests. What kind of troubles? There is a disturbance in this area. perhaps related to the appearance of unnatural creatures in this city. As such, I have decided to take temporary residence here to observe the events. Uh, tell me of Alsair's. It is a dry land of deserts and rocky steppes, many months of travel from here. It lies south of Istar, beyond the Serpent's Channel. The days are very hot, and the nights are very cold. Compared to Britannica, it is sparsely populated, and what civilization there is must be built near oases. However, the cities are very large, and some are several times larger than Edinburgh. The city I come from is Nubet, one of the largest and grandest cities in Alsace, built on the river Senvi. Perhaps one day you will see the hot sands of my home for yourself, adventurer. Uh, why do you cover your face? If I did not cover my visage, I would have difficulties interacting with people. I should say no more about this. Are you very pretty? She pauses for a moment as though considering your question carefully. In truth, no person has ever seen my visage and commented on it. Let us change the subject. In an instant, you are no longer curious about her looks. Right. Why are you staying in a wizard shop? For me to take residence in Edinburgh, I required certain items that only Dinnerfin could acquire. Not only has he provided me with the items of comfort you see around me, but he can also guarantee my safety. I understand. These are dangerous times for all of us. The dangers I speak of are not related to Edinburgh's events, but don't let me distract you from them, as my issues are my own. Regardless, by staying at this location, I can also make trades with Dinnerfin's visitors, as only they would have use for the items I have collected. What kind of things do you sell? You won't have a use for most of my items. Give me a moment to find some items that you may need in your journey. So, some spells, not only wizard spells, but even ninth level wizard spells, very powerful stuff, might be worthwhile for us to purchase. Water of She Sesen. While the small glass bottle looks quite valuable on its own, the clear liquid inside is potentially much more so. It is supposedly collected from the Alsarian oasis Shesesen, whose waters are said to have the power to rejuvenate. Legends say that a drink from the oasis can instantly... Excuse me for the interruption. Um, the waters are said to have the power to rejuvenate. The legends say that a drink from the oasis can instantly replenish one's energy, while a swim in it can stave off age for a year. Oddly enough, everyone who has ever claimed to have found the oasis becomes sworn to never divulge its location. However, its existence is believed to be fact because all who have made the claim of finding it lived to remarkably old ages. Uh, what this instantly replenish one's energy. What this actually does is it I think it counts as a rest. So more or less, it's useful for mages because if you've used up all your spell castings, you don't have to rest. You can drink a potion, and all of them are restored. It's not particularly useful now, but it's still multiple uses in a tough situation where you can just press on and don't have to worry about your casting uses. However, there's only a handful of potions and I don't think they replenish, so you're still going to have to use them sparingly no matter how rich you end up being. 5 restorations, and that's all you get. Some specialty items. Bag of holding. Useful stuff, but nothing super interesting. The potions are probably the most useful stuff for now. Maybe the spell mantles at some point. Right. Still. Fox's Tail. It's another one of the bars or inns. Although there's just nobles around here, so I'm not sure if it's our kind of a place. Madame Ives.
Welcome to you.
There's a look of disdain on this woman's face as she examines you. No, 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 you won't do at all. Please leave the Fox's Tail immediately. You're refusing me service? Obviously. Look at you. Your clothes are dirty, your hair is a mess, and what is that smell? I'll admit you're a handsome thing, though. You certainly have potential. Speak to Chapelle down the street. Maybe he can fix you up. When you've made yourself more presentable, come speak to me again. Now go on, scoot. Right, so it's unless we can present ourselves as noble, no. And noble district gate can't have access there. So what time is it? Alright. Dye merchant. Well, we don't want dyes. Not now, at least. We could try to enter the mercenary guild, but I don't think I particularly care to. I want to do these jobs first. Even though we want to go there during nighttime, I think it would be favorable for us to at least clear the pathway to the noble district before we start resting and waiting for night. I mean, we don't know how hard the path there is. I expect it to be easy because we're level 2 character, can't handle much, but who knows. Also a reason why I'll go to the government district before going, because there might be easy experience for us to gather up here before we set out to do anything dangerous. I don't think it's enough for level up, but that's not important. Even a couple of 100 points would be very, very useful. I mean, it would probably amount to getting a level up a quest before you would normally get it. So, but there should also be some important people here. I mean, this is the government district, so all the leadership. Not sure if we have access to them. They should be in specialty locations. What's this? Graveyard district. It's open. I don't think I want to stick my nose there now. I'm not sure if it's trouble, but we've been hinted that it's going to be trouble. Prison? Why would I go to prison? Right. I think we're better off taking the city guard barracks. Even enter here? Probably not. Yeah, I should have taken the job with these people, then I could have entered. West Gate. Another locked gate.
Well met.
Commander Asham. Probably pronounced Asham, but Asham for me. Tell me about yourself, Asham. You want to know about me? Well, I'm Commander Asham. I've served the city guard for about 7 years, since I was about your age, actually. Got promoted to commander just a couple of weeks ago. The only good thing to come out of this rising evil. Mind you, I'd sooner give up the position if it meant my wife didn't have to worry about vampires at night. We're expecting our first child in a matter of weeks, but I gotta tell you, I'm afraid to bring a baby into this kind of environment. He shakes his head. Can I pass the cake? I'm sorry, but I can't let you pass without written authorization from Captain Foreign. I'm not even allowed to let council elders through right now because of the orcs. No amount of persuading is gonna change that. Tell me about the orcs. In the past month, the orcs have moved in very close to the city. The farmers have left their homes to take refuge in the city until we can send guards to chase them off. But with the rising evil, that's not happening anytime soon. Uh, shit. Excuse me. Right, I'm getting interrupted constantly. What kind of stories are there about Anne Fang? The gate commander scratches his head in thought. Where do I start? There are 200, they say, 200 years ago, when Edinburgh was just a patch of dirt, the forest was guarded by a crazy witch called Hell. People would just be passing through, but she'd do things like send maddened animals at them, chase them into traps, all kinds of horrible stuff. She was eventually killed by a hero called Emin Mordred, and he built a castle that flourished for many years, but everything went downhill when he died. About 100 years ago, when people were settling in Edinburgh, they say people started dying mysteriously in Castle Mordred, and one day it just vanished. Some say the forest swallowed the castle into its depths. Legends also say that Angfang has a way of disorienting travelers to make them lose their way. After that, the orcs and other beasts that live there, well, why would anyone want to go in? Right. Seems like a fair assessment to me. Quilted saddle, that's another inn, I suppose. Alright, farmers, farmer's wife, commoners, little noblemen. Hurst.
Greetings.
This farmer wears a permanent scowl on his face, as though he's very unhappy with being in the quilted saddle. He tries his best to smile at your approach. Greetings, youngster. Why the long face? You'd have a long face too if you were stuck here like me and the other farmers here, lad. What do you mean? It's the orcs that have driven us out of our homes. They've come out of Angfang forest in large numbers, larger numbers than usual. But the city guard can't help us right now. Tell me about the orcs. Every 4 to 5 years, the orcs in Angfang wander too close to the farms, a couple of hours west of here. First few orcs that arrive aren't that dangerous. They're small and easy enough for the men to chase off. But those orcs are usually a sign that more are arriving. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of horrors that have plagued the north for centuries. There are maybe a dozen at the most. The ones usually come without leaders, so they're disorganized. They've more than a few farmers can fight, though, so we come to the city for help. Normally, the council is quick to send guards to drive them off, but this year the orcs have arrived in bigger numbers. When I left, I saw an especially big one, probably some kind of chief. But the guards can't help us, at least not right now. Why? Because of the rising evil, lad. They say undead are about that night, and some people think werewolves from the Mistwood have come close to the city. I don't know much about this myself. Other farmers and I don't want to pressure the council if they have these kind of problems to deal with. Still, we've had to abandon our homes and we're obviously anxious to get back. Can I help? He studies you for a moment before replying. I don't mean to be rude, but there are at least a dozen orcs out there and they have a leader. They won't be an easy fight. The guard wouldn't approach them without a large force. If you try to tackle them yourself, you are liable to get killed. I can handle a few orcs. Yeah, I'm not going to turn aside and offer to help. If you can bring me the head of the orc chief, I'll reward you 500 gold. It's a huge sum for a farmer. If the chief is eliminated, it should speed up the council's response, and we'll be back in our homes sooner than later. You'll still have to get clearance to get through the west gate, though. I hear they've locked it up. Don't try to be a hero, lad. There are more important things in life than a bounty hunt for gold. I'd rather wait a few more weeks here than have a young kid's blood on my hands. A single orc might not be much trouble to you, but they are very dangerous in large numbers. Right. Got a quest? No way to actually even try it. Less than 1000 experience needed to level up though.
Well met.
This man is young for an innkeeper, but he handles his patrons with the savvy of one who knows the business. Well met, sir. What can I get for you? Who are you? My name is Terence Bristow, but everyone just calls me Bristow. I own the Quilted Saddle Inn. You're young for an innkeeper. I inherited the inn from my folks just a couple of years ago. My family has been in the business of inns and taverns for generations, so I guess it's in my blood. Farmers, why are they here? Yeah, the orcs. Same story. Rising evil. Same story. Right. I don't want to waste time talking about it over and over again if they don't have anything new to add. Looks like we're not gonna get to the sewer this time either. On the positive side, this is the last district before the Noble. I don't think Noble has any kind of services, it's literally just noble houses. Estates. Imberg Library. Okay, that could be useful. Also, we are 900 away from a level up, so few extra pieces of information could go a long way.
Hello.
Hello. What do you even have in the bookcases? Geography of Arterra. Nature of beauty. Anyone I can actually talk to. Witches, Bestiary of Trolls, Bestiary of Trolls 2. It's an upper floor. Lord Turnholm.
I greet you, my
The white
child.
hair and thick wrinkles of this man suggest an advanced age, and you can't help but feel a great comfort and peace in his presence. He snores softly in the quiet room, but as you approach, his eyelids open. There's a twinkle in his eyes, as though he welcomes your company and is willing to share his vast experience with you.
Hey, I don't recognize you, child. Might I know your name?
My name is Roland. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm hoping I can milk some experience out of this guy.
I'm pleased to meet you too, child. He smiles. Such good manners. Most of the children who visit me don't have that. Not anymore. Parents are forgetting the basics, you see. I'm Lord Denholm, by the way.
You're a lord.
Oh, it's just a title now. I was part of the Elder Council many years ago. Health and religion, if I remember it right. Was among the first elders, you know, Jeswick and I, a few others. There were only 5 of us then.
Tell me more.
Oh, there's not much to tell. I'm so far removed from the daily workings of Edinburgh now. Ask me about other things. I like to talk about other things than myself.
You were an adventurer once?
Did I swing a sword or throw balls of flame around? Not as such, no. I was a scholar, you see. I saw my share of battles and dungeons, and I came face to face with a red dragon once. But I did not live my life for the adventure, or the power, or the wealth. No, I wanted to teach. I wanted others to learn and become wise. If anything, I wanted people to stop fighting. But people don't remember the exploits of us teachers, I'm afraid. It's so much sexier to remember the sword swingers and magic flingers. Ah,
Okay. Tell me about Edinburgh.
the city? Oh, it's grown quite a bit, hasn't it? I remember when Jeswick built the wood palisade around the farms and declared it a city. Was no larger than this district back then. He had grand plans, old Jeswick did. He wanted this place to be a utopia where everyone was wealthy. But it never works that way. Money goes money goes from one person to another. If one is rich, someone else is poor, you see. So today, there's a lot of nobles and a lot of beggars, and not enough in between. Leads to a lot of tension usually, but with all the trouble in the city of late, you might not notice it much.
Jeswick.
Jeswick Eden. Oh, he was the founder of the city, he was. There were others too. I was there, and I helped. But it's easier to remember one founder, you see. Easier than to remember a group of people. And Jeswick was a great hero too, and a natural leader. He was like a knight, and he always wanted to help people. Always put people ahead of himself. He did. That's why so many were drawn to him, and little Edinburgh grew.
He chuckles.
People don't remember the details. They never do. Eswick was a cranky one, he was. He would save your life one moment, then tell you to leave him alone the next. Heroes are remembered by their deeds.
Major religions.
Almost everyone follows NWN. A good choice, because he's a good god, you see. He teaches us tolerance and to help each other. In times of trouble, his war priests are very helpful. There's a downside too, of course. In troubled times, people blame him for not protecting them, and the temple up the street gets angry people at the door. There were other choices when Jeswick founded the city. Eleanor is always popular, and Azaril was suggested by the warriors. But these gods are too militaristic, and such religions tend to support dictatorships or monarchies. But we wanted the city to be ruled by its people, you see. so NWN was the best choice for us.
Okay. Hmm. Elder Council.
Mostly good people they are, all of them trustworthy at least. How many are there now? 15 cramped in the Hall of Elders, I think. You see, there's a group of them, and most of them are good people, so they keep the rest in line. The council as a whole works the good of the citizens. You can be sure of that, even if each elder has a separate agenda.
Lord Raisin.
Ah, Tanin is a fine lad, and a grand adventurer. Oh, he was. He retired from it not 10 years ago. I imagine a young, strapping lad like him retiring, eh? Reminds me a lot of Jeswick, he does. Always working for the people, that Tanin. Now he's in charge of city defense. Thorin does most of the day-to-day work, but Tanin takes all the big decisions. Tanin and his friends, they were quite popular in the Claymore, you see. Great adventurers, all of them. Let's see. There was Emerald Sigh, Gerald Townsend, and Savannah Moonbow. And Annabelle traveled a bit with them too.
Yeah, we've already asked about these, more or less. Not from this person though. But it seems like he's not telling us anything new. Thorin is something we haven't heard about, but so everything else, yes. Right. Savannah, merrily, little angel, always smiling and laughing. Right. Can you tell me about what happened?
Poor Tanin, he lost his family last year, did you know? An illness, he told me.
He takes a deep breath and sighs.
And though they've gone away, Tanin will see his family again. Life is just the beginning. But it's hard to console him. He hasn't been the same. He blamed himself, you know. Blamed himself for working too hard and not being there for Savannah and Marilee. I've grown patient over the years, but I miss them too. Savannah used to invite me to supper, and she would listen to my stories. It must be so hard on poor Tannen. Annabelle and Savannah were the best friends, you know. We're like so many ways. I think it's hard for Tannen to work so close to Annabelle. He must remind me of Savannah.
Well, at least that gave us something new. Amaryl is the leader of the Thieves Guild. Daryl is the cleric. Thorin, Captain Thorin. Right. Handles city guard, but yeah, there's nothing new no new information. Uh, what about the Rising Evil? Yeah, nothing new. Sleeping in the library.
It's quiet here, you see. The librarians keep everyone quiet and not many people visit the library anymore. People don't like to read. So much knowledge going to waste. And it's easier for the elders to find me here. My estate is a little far from the hall, you see, and I have so much family there. It's too noisy and they can't hear my advice.
Ask you for advice.
Yes, sometimes they come and talk to me and ask questions. I'm so old, you see, and I've seen things and experienced things they haven't. Most people have forgotten old Tenham. Maybe it's better that way.
Right. I think we've gone through all this. Right. So we'll leave it at that. I'll need to end anyway. So, didn't get to do our actual robbery. We still would have the temple and I guess the council hall left, but we can't enter the council hall without permission, but the temple is something we could. We have also gained a huge amount of things to do and we're starting to be quite close to the level up, so it's not exactly wasted. But I'm definitely inclined to skip repeats of the same topics at this point. I mean, certain people, from certain people, it might be worthwhile, but I think that's maybe a handful of people. Most of them are just repeating the same thing with different words.